Jacque, in your mind, what does it say, I guess, about the fortitude? Because there were a lot of stretches where you couldn't hit shots, but you had just enough defense down the stretch.
And that's what we talked about after the game was there definitely was a stretch where we didn't make shots, but we didn't splinter. We continued to defend. We only gave up 49 points, again, 2 consecutive games in the second half. So we kept our process right, defending the basketball, rebounding the basketball, and giving us opportunities to run. So this group, that finished the end of the third and start the fourth, what a great charge by them to give us some energy and some life, and our group rallied around that, and impressive win to finish up a trip on the road for sure.
The depth of this team, you just kind of alluded to it today, was Dennis. Coming off of him missing the game yesterday, what did it say about him in the fourth quarter? Just not just being ready, but getting 7 big points during that stretch.
Yeah, so there was a stretch, we got Doe playing, the 5 position, so he's battling. That takes energy out of you. Needed to give him a rest, and that rest equated to that group that was in the third with Dennis, Spencer, the rest of that group that was out there. Started the fourth, we came back with them. They just gave us life, put us back into the game, gave our guys a chance to recover, and I thought our guys were fresh at the end of the game, that group that started. You look down the line, no one played more than 32, 33 minutes, and so overall, for that to be our team identity, that collectively we can get it done on the road as a group, impressive.
You mentioned just getting past that third quarter where it seemed like you guys just couldn't hit a shot. What did you say to kind of stay together? Just being in these close games, I think it's 4 close games now this season. Is it just that kind of giving that callus you were talking about earlier, that you guys knew what to do?
Yeah, we really try to continue to stress being aggressive, pushing the pace, and I think that pace, people aren't used to it in the fourth quarter. We can continue to push the basketball in the fourth, and you saw that we had some really good looks in the fourth because we just continued to, have that mindset that we're going to push the basketball. 45 threes, we have the ability to shoot that because of that pace. And so I think our guys, I told them we've grown from game 1 to game 5. It's good to see our guys come together, what it takes to win, the recipe for us. Only 8 turnovers, Evan. I said we'd be able to look at that at the end of the game and see if we won or not. So we turned them over more than we turned the rock over to a team that's top 3 in the league in turning people over. So the focus, concentration level was there for our group, and they got rewarded for it.
Brandon, I'm sure he'd love to have the free throw back, but this is another good fourth quarter specifically for Mikal. What is it about that? I mean, is that a matter of conditioning, or what is that allows him kind of be at his best later?
Yeah, Brian, I think it's a mindset. I think overall he's growing into understanding when to put his foot down on the pedal. And I think whether it is us inbound the basketball and him coming back to get fouled, those opportunities which he had the other night, but then the ability to make a play, whether it's at the rim, whether it's coming off a pick and roll, whatever it is, I think he's stepping up to that moment, and that's definitely growth for him.
Dorian Finney-Smith, the tone that he was able to set, especially in that first half, and then to continue that, you mentioned about how everyone was coming to help Doe, but Doe is dominant on so many different levels. What did you see from him and his ability to defensively be on one end and then get to his spots on the other?
It's a lot to play against a dude that's bigger than you, and Dorian is stepping up and taking that challenge on because we need for him to do that. I thought Dayron's minutes were good, but Doe's ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor, shoot 9 threes, which is great. So that's putting pressure on their defense in closeouts, but then he also made plays off the bounce and getting to the rim. We have complete confidence, and I think he's playing with confidence because we trust him, we believe in what he can do, and he's doing it on both ends, Megan.
Dorian, the walk-off at halftime said all of his teammates were telling him to put up threes. He said, I want 10. He was 1 short. Do you like, especially if he's open to knock down shots, 10 is an okay number for you?
Well, I approved 8. I told him 8's good. All right, so if he wants 10, I want 8. I'll meet him in the middle, and we can go with 9. So he shot 9 tonight, so we'll take it. But his ability to make shots for us, stretch the floor, it's going to continue. His teammates have trusted him. They see him do the work. They see him come back at nighttime and shoot. All those things matter. We trust him, want him to shoot it.
Spencer joked that everybody was acting like he was dead. He only missed one game, whatever, game and a half. What does it speak to his? I mean, he came in and clearly you were a better team with him on the floor in terms of controlling the pace. What did he give you?
It's great just to see Spencer set an example, I think, for the organization. He was not 100%. Dennis was not 100%. But they're given what they have, and that's all we ask. That's your part of being a teammate. He takes extreme care of his body, and so he told me that there's a good chance he'd play on Friday, and he kept that word, and he did the work behind the scenes to have himself prepared. And he makes a difference on our team, without a doubt. Having him on the floor, whether it's starting, whether the group he ran in the second quarter also that gave us a lead, he's important to what we do. He gives us extreme amount of versatility. So for him not to be 100%, for Dennis not to be 100%, speaks to them being like totally bought in as being teammates.
For you to have 3 straight wins on the road, I think 3 straight good fourth quarters on the road. What are you guys finding about your identity? And second part of that, is this about perfect time for you to do it? Because your schedule coming up is...
Well, this thing's already been tough, Brian. But it gets daunting, I guess, as we go forward, starting with tomorrow night with the best team in basketball right now, with Boston. But this group is going to continue to learn about each other. This is just the beginning for us. And I'll continue to challenge them to stay in this space where we're trying to figure it out together. We'll grow together. We'll have some pain together. That's all right. But if we stay in this space, we can get incremental gains on a daily basis, on a game-by-game basis. And I look forward to what we look like 20 games from now. But right now, I love the fact, again, I'll say that from game 1 to game 5, this team has shown growth, whether that is the way we finished the game in game 1 in the fourth quarter to the way we finished the game in these last 2 games in the fourth quarter. Totally different difference in the execution piece of it, the ability to have calmness in those situations, and the ability to get it done. So complete growth.
Van's rebounding again, I think, helps set the tone in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Where you guys look for that pace. When he's kind of in that zone where he's just going to grab rebounds and go set that pace, you mentioned it earlier, but just what does that do for the team in that fourth quarter when he's the one pushing and everyone's just trying to, keep him on when he's setting that pace?
It'll be great to look at the last 6 minutes, the shots that we got. And so how many of those that he really dictated, and whether it was Doe we missed 2 threes during that stretch, and we all loved both of those shots. His ability to, I know you put a lot of stress on the defense. They have to make plays in the last 6 minutes when we're still pushing at the same pace that we pushed at in the first quarter. I think that's an advantage for us. We'll continue to learn how to use that as an advantage, but execute at the same time in the fourth. We don't want to slow that thing down, Evan. We want to continue to push the basketball from the first quarter to the fourth quarter.
Jacque, with this being the first in-season tournament game,
We're 1-0, Megan. 1-0. Are we leading our group?
I don't know what the group stage is. I'll get back to you. But what does it mean to get that first victory?
I think it's cool for our group. I was thinking earlier, when you used to play AAU basketball and you kind of went and looked at the brackets that they had and you tried to see what group you were in and who was in your group. And so there's some, just love for the game part of it, that it's good to be a part of this first one. I think this thing's going to grow, and we'll take 1-0 and go from there.
With the little bit of film that you did watch, I'm sure, what did you think and make of the painted court from what you saw?
Looking forward to our court. I am. The rim is the same color, so that ball went in a bunch of times for us. I'll take that.